Hi, welcome to Gemstone Tarot. This is your weekend tarot reading for 26th and 27th of May 2018. Thank you everybody for commenting so much. I've been reading your comments. It is a funny old energy, isn't it, going on at the moment. These cards are all upside down and God knows where as well. Let me just turn them around. It has been feeling very stuck. It's been feeling very obstinate. This weekend reading and all my sort of weekend readings for me are resonant when you hear them, and they do sometimes feel a bit timeless, as in, I don't know, they just feel like the energies could be longer. So with that in mind, I am using Tarot of a Moon Garden. That's been my pack of choice this week. That one is definitely for us. We've had the Eight of Wands surrounded by blocked cards 2 days in a row now. So I'll be interested to see what comes up for this. What do we need to know? This is for all signs, weekend 26th, 27th. I was going to say of November then. I mean, God knows. God knows what comes into my head sometimes. Valentine is outside enjoying the balmy weather. She normally goes sort of under a hedge in the soil. Now, I want a central card, but I'm not going to choose it yet. Where do I want that central card to come from? Here. Wow, people, this is like wearing an itchy shirt. Okay. We got the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles, again, you can see this person holding on to these, what looks like bowling balls. Holding on, holding on, holding on like this. It means they're not giving anything away. It's a slightly miserable, anxious expression. Not giving out, not giving in. It's that same energy, but I have to say it's quite strong. As in, the Eight of Wands isn't here. We have two cards which, for me, are quite tricky cards sometimes, depending in which way they come up. We have the King of Swords in reverse and the Magician in reverse. If I'm doing a private reading, let's say it was about relationships, personal relationships, and it was about a male, a female asking about a male, there's a couple of cards, and strangely they often come up together. And those are my two cards, King of Swords in reverse, Magician in reverse. Spells trouble to me. It spells difficulty. King of Swords, usually representing air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But the reason King of Swords represents air signs is because traditionally they're thought to be more compartmentalised and less emotional. A big generalisation, I know, because obviously there are lots of air signs that are very emotional. But the important thing about the King of Swords is in the upright, he tells the truth. It's a sword of truth. It's a difficult justice, but he can keep it. In the reverse, it goes a bit rogue. It can border on silence being cruelty. A cruel silence. I think there's a thing in the Bible about someone calling out, and it says, and silence was his stern reply. Silence was his stern reply, people. Now, that in itself is what it is. Then you throw the Magician in reverse. Again, another card for me that just gets my little heckles up and I think, what's going on? The Magician in the upright is an alchemist. It's what I call my blood, sweat, gravy and egg, okay? Blood, sweat, gravy and egg. He has the four elements of the tarot. He has, and I can only ever remember blood, sweat, gravy and egg. He has the wand, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle. I was going to say plate then. Importantly, what he can do is he can manifest, and he can make things manifest with the pentacle. He can channel the emotional side of things with the cup. He can communicate this with the sword, and he has the fire to make it happen with the wand. A powerful individual. There's a lot of power, of manipulation, of a good kind, of alchemy, of turning metal into gold, of being able to control things for the good. When he slips into reverse, along with the King of Swords in reverse, you can see that manipulation is not such a good thing. Some of you who are talking about relationships and have been commenting about relationships are being silently manipulated. And that is a difficult truth. It's also incredibly difficult to detect, and it's very difficult to deal with, because if you speak out, if you draw your own boundaries, you're almost throwing out all the energy at it and getting absolutely nothing back, which again, it's almost like an echo of silence. And each time that echo of silence happens, it's more hurtful than the last. So I feel expressing yourself may be counterproductive. And that Eight of Wands is a card of expression. Needing to express yourself, needing for them to express themselves. If this is a work situation, by the way, it can be the same energy. Needing to hear something, needing to know something, needing clarity, needing someone to put their cards on the table. Cards are close to their chest still. Now, I'm wondering, we've got a full moon in Sagittarius on the 29th. I'm wondering if that will give some, Sagittarius, Jupiter, burgeoning full moons usually crack the nut in some way, don't they? Either, in my experience, a full moon, particularly if it's an eclipse energy, but any full moon energy, if you've been trying to keep something in, it can just blab on out, and another thing, you just totally lose it. Give away the whole farm, it's the full moon, and it causes a big kerfuffle, but at least you get something. You get some kind of movement. It may feel terrible, it may give you no more clarity, but something shifts. Or you find something out, something just, whatever that word is. I want to say plops into place, but it sounds gross. I tell you what I'm getting an image of. I'm getting an image of a shallow pool, and a stone being plopped into the pool and the concentric ripples and circles that come out. It's a strange movement. In the meantime, you will feel like chewing your own face off. I'm not gonna pretty it up, okay? It's gonna feel really difficult. We've got Temperance in the reverse in the middle. It's a feeling of impatience. It's a feeling of not being able to go with the flow. Because, to be honest, in this situation, there's no flow. Four of Pentacles is a stuck card. Knight of Swords is a card. And the Magician is a who are you card. Sometimes with the Magician I get that feeling it's the person who's selling watches out of a coat, and the police rock up and they just disappear. They were never there. It feels like the person who you thought you knew was never there. It's a really weird feeling. Again, it's an echo, it's an invisibility. I'm getting a void. I expect what I'm trying to say is don't try and fill the void. However difficult that might feel. Seven of Wands in reverse. That's a nice card, actually. But it is also a lack of argument. Valentine's trying to get in. Hang on. Come on then, sweetheart. You want in, don't you? I thought you were outside. Hello, here she is. She's like, are you doing the tarot reading without me? Hi, do you want to say hello, Valley Bobs? Oh yes, here I am. I'm ready. I'm in. Seven of Wands in reverse. There's not even arguing. You know, like I was saying about the full moon, you could maybe even do with a good Barney or showdown about this, whether it's work or whether it's romance. But that's not there. And then we get the Queen of Pentacles. I think we had this a couple of days ago, didn't we? The Queen of Pentacles with the rabbit. See the little lovely rabbit? She's quite serene and patient. She holds her own pentacle. Doesn't she, Val? She holds her own pentacle, sweetheart. Oh, lovely little Val. She loves the tarot. She loves the tarot. Oh dear. Let's have a look at the oracle card. Okay, good. We get poised. Okay, that's poised as well. Having poise as well and dignity, but at the same time being on the edge of something. I think the full moon may come into play for us here and not a moment before time. She's totally zonked. There's obviously been some action outside, hasn't there? Okay, we get focus and we get trust. And I'm going to pull a couple of Chuck Spezzano love cards. Focus is focus on yourself, and I know that's really irritating to hear, but the temptation when you have a Magician in reverse and a King of Swords in reverse is to focus on the emptiness of communication. Thereby leads a road that is not a good one. Not a good one. Ooh. Okay. Wow. Okay, 3 love cards. We get romance. Responsiveness. Oh, responsiveness. And tryst. This energy is out there. The romance, the dating, the responsiveness. 2 rabbits as well in that one. It needs to come from them. It needs to come from them. The romance is still a possibility. These are all very nice cards, luck cards. And then there's tryst, and that is something secretive about a relationship. We're going to leave them there. We're going to hold on to our own bowling ball. Don't be tempted to fill the void. Leave me a comment. Let me know how it's going, okay? If you want a private reading, you can book in the description box, and the June readings will be out shortly, okay? See you soon. Namaste.